Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Today, I just want to share with you a hot off the press study looking at sleep duration and premature death. So, just about an hour ago, I was picking up my kid at this event, and I was on Twitter and I saw that there had been a study published very recently looking at how long you sleep and the risk of dying for any reason. And there have been many studies, at least a good handful, like maybe 5 to 10 big studies looking at this. And the results of this one, quite similar, but it's really a new one, so I wanted to share this with you very briefly today. So this study was published 5 days ago in the European Heart Journal, and researchers from many countries had looked at a cohort. That means a group of people, again from many countries, from 21 countries to be precise. And this was a group of about 116 individuals that they followed over nearly 8 years. And when you do a cohort study like this, you follow a group, in this case 116,000 people, and you see what happens to them. And you also look at something else, in this case how long they slept. So they looked at how long they slept, and they try to figure out if that could predict if they were going to die early or not. So what did they find? Well, here are the key results. So they saw that people that reported sleeping between 6 and 8 hours were kind of at baseline, like they did not have an increased risk of early death. Now, people that slept less than 6 hours and between 8 and 9 hours had a slightly increased risk. However, and this was interesting, when you looked at analysis that took into account lifestyle factors and other factors that may affect these results, the less than 6 hour risk was actually not statistically significant. So if you look at this from a very strict, scientific perspective, then only sleeping more than 8 hours was increased with a higher risk of early death. And the more you slept, the higher that risk. As you can see here, it really started picking up after 9 to 10 and more than 10 hours of sleep. That's where the real risk was. And I feel like this is important to talk about because you never really hear that story. And I know I've said this before, but you always hear the story about sleeping less than 8 hours or less than 7 hours. That's dangerous. But in fact, study after study shows that it's really sleeping longer that is dangerous. And why do I want to bring this when I'm talking about insomnia? Well, don't get me wrong. I want everyone on this planet to sleep as good and as long as they can. But I feel for a lot of people, fear that insomnia or not sleeping enough affects your health negatively. Makes things worse, makes people sleep worse, and for that reason I think it's important to bring this up. I hope you found this interesting, helpful. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment or email me at insomniainsight@gmail.com, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Bye now.